Oh my god, fucking kill me. Alright, so, you know, I wanted to make other content, as other people have suggested. I'm currently working on an Elden Ring review, and I'm also working on a video titled An Actual Critique of Elden Ring. And if you're confused about those two, that's basically, one is going to be a proper review, and the other is going to be in the style of my critique of Fallout New Vegas, in which I basically go over some of the more obvious issues that people who do not like Elden Ring and who do not support Elden Ring should point out instead of making shit up, just like in the case of Fallout New Vegas. But it has been taking me a little bit, because I am currently in exam and assignment season for university. And you know, I just overslept for uni. Thankfully, I can skip this class. Thankfully. But I get up to continue one of my assignments, and I see that Acerthorn is uploaded again, and you know that I just saw cash fucking money in my eyes when I saw this. Because this has to be one of the... I can't believe I'm fucking able to say this again, but this has to be one of the dumbest things I've fucking heard in a while. You know the drill by now. I'll be showing the least amount possible, and what is going to be there is going to be censored as fuck. The link to the video is going to be in the description below if you want to check out the full thing, so you can check for yourself instead of just trusting me in case I miss something. So yeah, let's get into this so I can get back to my university assignment. I'll skip the first minute or so. Basically, his computer broke down again, which is something that I wouldn't be surprised he blames us for. And the initial subject of the video is Upper Echelon Gamers' video on the Acerthorn situation. Basically, it's a video titled Acerthorn versus Everyone, and it talks about how he's suing everyone. Let's get into this.
But here's the gist of it. Here's the gist of what I posted on the comments section of his video, is that I am just left increasingly shaking my head at the way the situation has developed, and not just because people aren't taking my side, but because so few people have even attempted, have even so much as tried to reach out to me to get my side of the story.
How is your audio mixing still so shit? You know, Acerthorn, people probably aren't taking your side because your side is absolutely fucking ridiculous. This isn't a case of I know the story, I don't know the story. This is a case of people simply looking at your lawsuit demanding $1.8 million from me, over $2 million from Sid Alpha now for $20 per view on a video, which the basis of said $20 per view is an accidental live stream in which you try to justify it being copyrightable because you ate a hot dog, and also because you made facial expressions when watching YouTube videos. There you go. Okay, I'm being fair, you see? I mean, fuck, even if someone doesn't know the story, as you so desperately try to comment about in other people's videos, people, judge and corporate lawyer defenders including, can rightfully see that you're so far shoved up your own ass that not only can you see the sunshine, but you can rotate back in and then exit once more. This is made all the more ridiculous as you shake your head, as I have been in a lawsuit with you since fucking January over an 11-second clip you claim wasn't commented on enough, only for you to start a lawsuit with me and then turning around and saying that actually you deserve millions from me because I used your fucking channel logo icon in different shapes. What the fuck? Shove it up your ass with that fucking SMH nobody listens to. People have tried to see your side of the argument, and because you don't respond to other people, the next best thing is seeing what you actually put in those fucking court documents, and in those fucking court documents we can see your absolute insanity. Like that time you thought being claimed as a dependent by your parents meant identity theft when you were suing them. Yeah, check that. Point is, it doesn't fucking matter what your side of the fucking story is. You are suing a bunch of small content creators for maximum damages, unreasonable maximum damages, and that's a fucking understatement. So listening to your side of the story is kind of a fucking waste of time because this is all fucking insane and anyone with half a brain cell should be able to see it. Even post-lawsuit being filed, I tried to have a conversation with you. I tried to get you you in a Discord server so we could talk. And you said that lawyer, which is actually non-existent as evidenced by your court documents, said not to do that, only for you to then turn around in emails and tell me that my behavior is equivalent to me bullying someone into suicide. Go fuck yourself with this my side of the story bullshit. The lawsuit documents are all someone really needs to see all of this. Get bent.
Oh, people seem to be fine vilifying me after hearing only one side of the story.
What? One side of the story? It's all there in the court documents, sure. Nobody has yet included the counter-arguments. Nobody from this side has ever included the fucking counter-arguments in the lawsuit, but they don't have to, because people can see just by looking at the court documents that you're fucking insane, and I mean that in every manner.
But literally, I think I can count on one hand the number of people in the past 6 or 7 months who have actually contacted me, not just to harass me. Oh, thousands of people have harassed me.
Fact check, motherfucking false on that one. For any of you just tuning in, this is one strategy that he loves to use. It's his favorite, matter of fact. One thing he really likes to do is to claim that everybody is harassing him. Many people are harassing him. Thousands of people are harassing him. But never back it up with, and I'm gonna quote him here, a source. I've been here for a while now, and out of all these thousands of people that have been quote-unquote harassing him, I can only think of 2 that are actually appropriate. One is a fake initiative cookie who got some of his members of Discord deleted, and that's only from his side of the story. We don't actually have any other information to back this one up, so he could have been making that shit up. And the other one is Bibi Fazy, a throwaway name on a throwaway account that tried to DMCA Acerthorn, not to take his channel down, but to get information from him and try to bait him into giving false information, which would trigger the YouTube algorithm into deleting Acerthorn's account. Assuming both of them happened, they are both fucking disgusting, and I want nothing to do with them. But he claims that he is being harassed by thousands of people. What actually happened is that a lot of people simply comment on the shit he does and on his videos, or make response videos such as maybe you having not played Elden Ring and just blaming the community doesn't mean that Elden Ring is a shit game, doesn't actually justify saying that Elden Ring is bad. That's not how that works, but this is one of the ways he claims people harass him. Don't agree, it's harassment. This malicious bastard has a habit of lying to the judge, I'm not kidding, so don't be surprised if he lies to you as well. Real quick, just as a post-editing thing, he repeats himself over and over and over again, and if you've noticed those cuts, it's me cutting out the bits where he's breathing in or just stuttering repeatedly. I am not going to have a 1 hour long video of me just addressing the same points over and over again. If you want to see all of what he said, do check out his channel. Do not just take my word for it naturally, and yeah, enjoy the video.
And just as an example of the sort of blatant falsehoods that people believe, primarily due to them not reaching out and getting my side of the story, Upper Echelon said the title of his video is Acerthorn versus ellipse everyone. Basically, I know, without even having to watch the video, I already knew what he meant by that.
Oh yeah, did I mention he also does this? Without watching the video, he already knew. Well, fucking thank you, Acerthorn. He DMCA'd my original version of the Exposerthorn saga, threatened to DMCA and tried to DMCA The Marcy Show and other YouTube channels for videos he himself admits to not have even watched. Why? Because he knows already what's gonna be in the video. So he convinces himself that what he knows is already gonna be in the video is in the video, and thus acts accordingly. And even if he does watch the video to the end, by that point, he's so sure of himself that he doesn't even consider that he may have been wrong about something. Such as, for example, with the Marcy Show, the comment section being a platform for people to possibly harass me. But I did cut him off here. Let's see, what is your example of people not listening, of people just going on to vilifying him? Let's see what the baby boy has to say.
That I sue everyone. Put simply, that is just not true. There are plenty of people, just in the past couple of months, honestly, who have been quite unpleasant towards me but I have not sued them.
You fucking what? I know I may be sounding a little toxic here towards Acerthorn, a little bit rude, but now you see why. Not only have I, along with dozens of other people, have to deal with this malicious cunt for months on end, but this is the level as to how he exaggerates things to make himself look like the victim. And spoiler alert, this isn't the worst aspect of how he makes himself look like a victim in this video. Just thought I'd let you know about that one. No, Acerthorn, Upper Echelon Gamers does not literally mean you sue everybody. It is just a title to imply that you sue a fucking ton of people and that you DMCA a fucking fuck ton of people. If I call you completely retarded, do I literally mean that you are completely retarded? Of course not. Well, in this case, now that I think about it, that's a joke. YouTube algorithm, it's just a fucking joke.
When Kretosis did his video about my Fallout New Vegas retrospective, when he did his 2 streams on that.
Are you sure of that one? Is it that you didn't sue them or that you couldn't sue them? Behold this little picture that Acerthorn really nicely provided to the judge, which is also available on Court Listener. These are his attempts to DMCA people in just the span of 40 days. This guy had the bright idea of dragging YouTube into this to get all of our channels deleted and, you know, Google accounts deleted and Alphabet Sphere accounts deleted, which got YouTube aware of this, meaning that YouTube started putting a halt on a lot of these DMCA attempts because they were obviously frivolous. Acerthorn believes that it's only the counter notification that starts a legal process, not the takedown itself. I can almost guarantee that if most of these strikes had gone through and other people had been affected, they would right now be in a lawsuit because they would have had to counter notify. I'd like to point out that this is why people don't go to you for the side of the story and just usually stick to the court documents, because you're a fucking liar.
I had several weeks go by where people were like, hey, are you still ducking Kretosis? Are you still avoiding having to respond to him and shit? Basically calling me a coward because I wasn't willing to engage with that toxic piece of shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say here. Fact check false again. I'm so sick of this fucking meme. You see, thank fucking God that Stag are live streams and there's a chat, because you're the one who invited them to have a debate. You agreed to this proposition. You threw a fucking hissy fit about having some sort of third-party moderation to maintain civility, and then went off the fucking rails and claimed that fucking Pagan had memories of being beaten as a kid by his parents. Oh boy. Also, you're talking about lawsuits, right? How is you ducking out of the debate you asked for and were toxic in any way related? Are you gonna use this as a fucking argument that maybe you didn't sue everybody? Are you linking this to you not wanting to sue? What? How is this relevant? Let's find out.
And yet, here you are, just making your own determinations based on partial and extremely one-sided sides of the story without even attempting to contact me to see if you can get my side of the story, to see if maybe, just 1 in a million chance, there might be more to it than what these biased sources on the other side are letting on.
No fucking way he actually did it. He actually did it. He actually fucking did it. He used the fact that he dipped on a debate he fucking suggested, that he asked for, as evidence to why he doesn't want to sue everybody and why he doesn't sue everybody. And the subject of the example is literally someone he's trying to sue. What? My dude!
You know, I'm starting to wonder, instead of me being the one ducking other toxic shitheads who are only looking to cuss me out for its own sake, I'm starting to wonder, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you're the ones who are ducking me.
Okay, 2 points here. For starters, nobody on the side that you're trying to sue has ducked you. Second, people are looking at the hashtag sources and, you know, seeing what you're actually suing someone for. It is not ducking you when someone simply looks at the court documents or asks some of the people affected for their side of the story. A lot of people who have covered these lawsuits are simply looking at what you have done. Besides, we have seen what comes of people who just look at your side of the story or who look at both. In the case of just your side of the story, they come off with the impression that we're just mocking you for your disability, which we're not. Why do I keep saying we? As if we're fucking colluding together. No. And in the case of people who do look at both sides of the story, like McNilo, they still come out against you. And people like Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamers who do not look at either side of the story still come out against you. And third point, actually, you know, just a tiny point, just a small thing that I feel needs to be mentioned. You know, nothing too serious, really, but why the fuck are you bringing half-a-year-old arguments back up? This whole ducking case was referring specifically to you ditching on a fucking debate you asked for. Other YouTubers have tried to get your side of the story, and your side of the story is just basically they're doxers and dogpilers, says the actual doxer, by the way. And even people who you are suing have tried to talk to you since then. What the hell is this fucking video? Oh my god.
Because, let me tell you, I said earlier that I can count on one hand the number of times that anybody has actually reached out to me and even given me a chance to tell my side of the story.
Are you referring to Jeannie Lay and Wannabe Hood Gangsta? I know sure as fuck McNilo didn't come out of this respecting you a whole lot more. But are those the people who you're referring to? Jeannie Lay and the Wannabe Hood Gangsta from the A? Because Jeannie Lay was under the impression that we were just mocking you for your disabilities. And the Wannabe Hood Gangsta, no, I don't remember his fucking name, I'll just be honest. He had no idea what DMCAs even were, or what the legal process was, or how this was abusive. And low-key thought we should excuse the DMCA abuse because Acerthorn doesn't have the power to take down channels. YouTube does. If you've been on YouTube for more than 5 seconds, you know why that's absolutely retarded. I wonder why you don't specify who these people are. I wonder. I really fucking wonder.
Like, for example, and remember, I said that it's reduced to minimal editing here, so the transition's gonna look like shit. But take a look at this screenshot. Yeah, somebody actually confronted me about that assault charge, and I'm not gonna go into detail here because I'm not gonna talk about my personal life on this channel. This channel is Acerthorn, not, you know, that other name, okay? This is Acerthorn. Anyway, he confronted me about that charge, happened years ago, and I have repeatedly insisted that I was not convicted of it, and so he showed me some random-ass letter that happens to be on court record, where somebody whose profession just happens to begin with a J said that I was convicted, and they treat that like it's the be-all end-all. That, like, they didn't even show the judgment of guilty, since there was no judgment of guilty. They just showed one guy who said that he thought I was convicted, and they treat that as sacrosanct.
Well, that was a long fucking clip. I hope you survived that. You'll notice that I edited some parts there. Again, do check the video in the description to actually verify everything I'm saying. But I cut it out because he rambles on and on about useless shit and takes a whole 5 seconds to say this is Acerthorn, not DS, his real name. Now, he doesn't specify what assault charges, and indeed, assault, I'm having a very hard time finding out about those assault charges. But you know what charges I'm not having a hard time finding out about? Battery. That's right, battery. You see, he keeps mentioning these assault charges and not being guilty of assault. And honestly, if you're one of the people who has been claiming that he is guilty of assault, please provide a source for that, because that has been very difficult to find for me. But battery? Not so much. Let's look at this little document here. I've cut out some of the names here, but basically D is Acerthorn's dad and A is Acerthorn, aka the appellant. Let's go. On November 24, 2011, the police were called to the home of the father, D, and found that the father had suffered knife wounds to his face. The son, Acerthorn, was arrested and charged with battery. The son subsequently filed suit against his father, claiming that his father had breached the written contract between the parties that night by failing to provide adequate high-speed internet. Acerthorn, appellant, further claimed that after he confronted his father about the problem with the internet, his father punched him in the face, and then the father purposefully cut his face with a knife to make it appear as if he had been attacked by his son. Acerthorn asserted in his complaint that his father pressed criminal charges against him knowing them to be false, and used the alleged attack as a means to circumvent the lease agreement provision of the parties' contract and unlawfully evict appellant from his house. The complaint alleged 6 separate causes of action, including malicious persecution, abusive process, defamation, breach of contract, conversion, and battery. Appellant subsequently filed an amended complaint, adding additional claims for identity theft, tort of outrage, negligence, and forgery. The case proceeded to a jury trial, and at the conclusion of the trial, the jury was given interrogatories pertaining to only 2 of the 10 claims. Specifically, the jury was instructed on breach of contract and battery and returned verdicts in favor of the father. Need I make any more comments about this? Need I make any single fucking comment about this other than, do you see how petty he is, and do you see how he lies to you?
But I did get a transcript from a related case from around the same time period that was being overseen by the same judge who oversaw my criminal case. And he basically said, no, Mr. Acerthorn's real name was not convicted.
You see how he lies to you here? Let's take this back for a moment. If Acerthorn accused his father of cutting his own face and the judge sided with the father, then the question here is who cut the father's face? Oh, I know! In his lawsuit against the University of Arkansas, it reads, Acerthorn indicated he plans to have his father in his room, at which point he would cut his father's forehead and take his blood to write a letter of forgiveness. Acerthorn indicated he planned to have the occurrence videotaped and posted on the internet website YouTube. Acerthorn indicated that thinking of the pain his father would be in and the screams he would produce gave him chills. Acerthorn proceeded to make physical motions of a person who had the chills while making this statement. Acerthorn was asked how often he thought of this plan, in which he replied a response to the effect of, I practically jerk off to it daily. So let me ask you, dear viewer, who do you think cut the father's face?
We had a phone call on Discord, and he basically interviewed me. I did keep a recording of the audio, so I can play a short clip. Now,
are you talking about that interview you only did after he offered you $10?
He said no, he wants to teach himself how to do this so that he'll have that skill in the future.
I hate to break it to you, Acerthorn, but I don't think the reason is because he wants to learn how to edit, if you know what I mean.
Which, fine, but can you please hurry up and get it published already?
Holy fucking shit, this guy does an interview with you, gives you $10 to sweeten the deal. You claim to be so desperate for third-party reporting that actually takes your side of the story into account, and then you act like this? Interviews take time to organize, and it takes even longer when you're looking into every side of the story and trying to get the facts straight and properly organized. Jesus Christ, you're such a cunt.
And I want you to listen to what he says. And if you think that's scummy of me, then you can go ahead and think that's scummy of me. I don't really give a fuck what you think.
Well, it's not really that scummy the way you put it, because...
Yeah, he's actually impressed, because when I actually give my side of the story, it actually comes off as me being a reasonable human being, doesn't it?
Reasonable human being? You just said I don't give a fuck what you think to him, and you cut out the part where he explains his side. What are you referring to here, Acerthorn? What is he going to say? What is the topic of the interview right now? You are such a disingenuous cunt. What part of this indicates that he was impressed? Legitimately, what part of this indicates that he was impressed? Maybe he was going to say, it's not scummy because this, but I still find it wrong. I guess we have to see when the interview comes out, but given this fucking editing, and given how you say that he was impressed from him just saying, that isn't scummy, honestly, I hate how vague I have to make my points and how I have to talk about this in hypotheticals, because this is how little he fucking gives this audience. We have seen that he is malicious enough to lie or tell half-truths in the past, so honestly, I can't take any of this seriously, and I have to talk about this in hypotheticals to respond. Also, a reasonable human being. I don't give a fuck what you think is the first thing we hear. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do a pretty good job of justifying my actions. But people like Upper Echelon and Sid Alpha, people who just don't even, who allegedly take their journalism very seriously, yet don't even purport on their face to follow any sort of journalism code of ethics.
I skipped a bit there because he's babbling on incoherently. Upper Echelon isn't a fucking gaming journalist. According to him, in his own video, he just looked at some of the court documents. Where you, just as a reminder, legitimately believe that you think we should submit all of our devices for third-party impounding for cleansing. You disingenuous cunt. Hello, me again. I just had to leave this note here because I had to skip well over a minute of audio because he rambles on and on. He calls people cowards, he mixes the people who are legitimately criticizing him with harassers, and he babbles on so much that I simply cannot edit this in such a way as to where I can provide adequate commentary to everything that he says in this bit, because it would be too long, and because it's so incoherent, I couldn't even begin to think of where I could address this in a proper structure. You should check out his video in the description to see what I'm talking about. Because so far my audio has reached 20 minutes with a lot of skipping, and if I were to try to respond to this in any meaningful fashion, it would be way longer and I wouldn't be able to provide adequate commentary because it is so rambling and babbling. But yeah, I guess that's Acerthorn for you. In fact, he is so malicious and disingenuous in this quote that honestly, I don't even have to comment on it and leave it in this video. You just have to look at the video for yourself. I guess this is me giving Acerthorn views. You're welcome, Acerthorn. Those 500 robots do thank you for that. But it is so shocking to me, even after editing, that this is simply not only mostly unintelligible, but so disingenuous of him. He claims that we will disembowel and we will fragmentalize every single sentence into every single word and focus on the dumbest things of each fragment of a sentence. I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. Let's just continue.
With Kratosis, obviously, he does that. That's practically his MO. He just takes everything in their own little vacuum, rather than considering the points I make as a whole and then rebutting the whole thing.
This is once again a major lie as to what Kratosis does, and another lie from Acerthorn. People do not take your claims of harassing, doxing, and dogpiling seriously, because not only are you guilty of all of that and then some, but you also, for example, he has accused me of harassment on a level that leads people to suicide, or comparatively so. In case I forgot to put that screenshot earlier in the video, here it is right now. But what is his justification for it, you may be asking? Well, his justification for it is because I'm in the Kratosis server. He claims that I am an active participant in the Acerthorn Pinata bashing thread. I'm not, by the way. And supplements that with my videos. So, let me get this straight. I am harassing him by responding to his stupid claims, responding to the fact that he is trying to sue me for $1.8 million, and that means I'm harassing him? Well, I don't think so. So now, when you hear him cite Kratos as an example of someone who just puts things in a vacuum and doesn't respond to things overall, let me ask you something. Do you believe him? I would argue that you shouldn't, because what Kratosis has done when addressing Acerthorn is, of course, be a bit, you know, rude, toxic even, memey, of course. Kratos mostly addresses the things that are said to him or about him. So what Acerthorn is doing now is, for example, taking the statement, he wants $2.7 million from Sid Alpha because he ate a hot dog on stream. Obviously it's a joke. It's based on reality in the sense that Acerthorn defends his accidental livestream being copyrightable, and he is suing Sid Alpha over the inclusion of the accidental livestream. But Acerthorn has a history of taking things like that and taking them seriously.
Because now you have an impartial person who has an advantage over your point of view by reason of him being impartial, whereas you're not.
Yeah, at some point during his babbling, which went on for over 3 minutes to the point where I literally could not edit anything, he mentioned a situation with a debate, and there would be a moderator in it. That's what I understood from it. That's the little I understood from it. So yeah, just to give you the context. Yeah, I wonder why I'm not impartial at this point. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure why I'm not impartial. That's the $1.8 million question, isn't it?
And he's actually agreeing with me on some points. Not all points. Like when that interview finally goes up with that guy, we're gonna respectfully agree to disagree on some issues. But he also acknowledges that I'm not just the Hitler of 2022 that everyone says I am. I am not the villain here.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
No, Acerthorn, the Hitler of 2022 is Vladimir Putin. You're Mussolini. You have done nothing to prove that you are not the bad guy here in this story. While there are some people who have had negative behaviors, bad behaviors, which I absolutely condemn. Who the fuck is messaging me on Discord? All you have really done in this video is bitch at the fact that some people simply stick to reading the court documents. You have also been very disingenuous as to your own past and what you are doing, and spent half the time hurling insults at people who may not care to have your side of the story or even be involved in this at all, because they are rightly scared that you may just DMCA them, as you have done so many times in the past and aren't doing now because YouTube is actively halting your fucking DMCA attempts. Also, Acerthorn, if you're actually watching it up to this point, make a video telling your own side of the fucking story. How about that? People know what my side is, people know what Sid Alpha's side is, but nobody fucking knows what your side is because you keep hammering on and on and on about it, but then never fucking make a video talking about it. You just ramble on and ramble on about how we're all cowards, harassers, doxers, and dogpilers, but you never elaborate. If it's really that important, if it really is that crucial, then make your side of the story public. It really shouldn't be difficult, yet you neglect to do it while bitching that nobody knows your side. So, get on with it.
I am very much the victim. For over a year, I have been harassed constantly by people who really just make no effort to hide the fact that they're malicious motherfucking twats.
You wanna play this motherfucking game, you asshole? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, Acerthorn, you are not the fucking victim here. Sure, you could make an argument, a very good one, about being the victim of some guy trying to take you down and get your information. That would be absolutely appropriate, but that's rarely what you do. All people were making were videos criticizing you and your stupid fucking points about video games. That is all people were doing, and you started taking people down. Are you the victim of having your channel terminated? Are you the victim of going into debt? Are you the victim of extortion? Are you the victim of threats? No, 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 no. You're the guy who has to lie on fucking Twitter about someone apparently bombing his house as a response to DMCAs? Yeah, totally. Everybody fucking believes you there, retard. Are you the victim of some degenerate fuck online paying to dox you? Oh, wait a minute. That was you on a minor, by the way. Are you the victim at risk of having all of your accounts within the sphere of Alphabet, the parent company of Google, removing every single account of yours? Are you the victim of defamation, of someone calling you a harasser, a doxer, a dogpiler? Are you the victim of 35 false DMCA attempts? That's right, I said 35, that's the number he's up to by now. That I know of. I may have missed something. I just thought you'd know. I may have fucking missed something. Toxic twats, he says. Twats. By the way, nice British. Nice British lingo there. You're definitely fancy. You know, said toxic and harassing twats that you asked for help for when you got your fucking account hacked because you fell for a crypto scam while insulting us and demanding that we do everything in our power to get your account back. Are you the victim because we refused to help you there? Really? Are you also gonna claim to be the victim when the judge finds out that you're lying to him? Such as when you claimed that a parody account destroyed evidence when in reality you DMCA'd them. You know, I started all of this just wanting to make a joke video, and when Acerthorn interacted with me, I actually tried to be cordial and nice and reach a proper middle ground, and now this is what it has all devolved into. What a fucking mistake it was for me to try to be fucking civil with you. If you were to win this lawsuit, I would be fucked for generations monetarily. Ekka Wilder would be fucked because she lives paycheck to paycheck. Sid Alpha, even with the support of massive fucking YouTubers, is already going into debt. And I can guarantee that in my case, for example, if I hadn't fought back, you would have tried to DMCA me in the future because you did that, as evidenced by your own screenshots, thus adding another channel to the pile which got terminated or was seriously threatened. Did we leak your personal information? No. Fuck no. But I am now the person who has their fucking address, their university address, not the real one, thank God, on fucking public record in a court case because you decided to leak it because you're too fucking money hungry to even pay to serve me, so you wanted the court to do it. And you want to sit here with the hot dogs you so love shoved so far up your ass to the point where you still think you're a victim just because, wow, some people looked at the court document I filed and decided it was retarded. You disingenuous, malicious, mold-sniffing degenerate. Fuck you and your inflammatory comments. Fuck you and your DMCAs. Fuck you and your arguments. Really? At this point, I do not believe you in a single fucking thing. And you want to know what the worst part of this all is? You want to know what the worst part is? This still isn't done, and it gets even worse.
They just create new accounts and harass me again and again and again and again. So when I block them and that still doesn't work, what do you expect me to do then? No, it's clear what all of you want isn't for me to respect fair use. I'm not the one abusing the DMCA. You're the ones abusing fair use. I'm not using the DMCA as a cudgel for a purpose it wasn't designed for. You're the ones using fair use as a cudgel for a purpose it wasn't designed for.
Oh my fucking god, my brain is melting! For starters, weren't you the guy that in his 2-hour-long video describing fair use and copyright law, weren't you the guy that argued that there was no such thing as quote-unquote fair use abuse? Second of all, nice fallacious fucking argument there. You assume that anyone who is actually harassing you, which there have been very little as far as I can see, but hell, what do I know? You just put everyone who has been complaining about your DMCA abuse, and yes, you have been abusing the DMCA system, in the same group as people actually harassing you. Let's just assume that there's, say, I don't know, 100 people harassing you and 100 people complaining about your DMCA abuse. Just because there are 100 people harassing you does not mean that that extrapolates into 200 people harassing you in this example. You fucking imbecile. It's literally the them versus me argument. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. One of the people who I presume to be harassing me harassed me. Therefore, everybody that's against me is harassing me. You fucking imbecile. Also, I love this one. This one almost escaped me. This one almost fucking escaped me. You're not using the DMCA takedown system for something it wasn't designed to. You want to know something that DMCA wasn't designed to be used for? For harassment. You know that, right? For harassment. DMCA is not for harassment, it's for copyright. Yet here you are, claiming proudly that a video is harassment, and therefore you'll use the DMCA on it. You lying fuck. But get this. It gets worse. If you listen to this.
You know, I've even recently suffered a life-threatening case of pneumonia because of all the chronic psychological stress that I have suffered as a result of all of this harassment. It's ridiculous.
You couldn't make this shit up if you tried. You want to blame us for your pneumonia. For starters, by the way, I would like to see a doctor's note saying that your pneumonia is a result of psychological stress. By the way, long term. You'll notice that in the title there. Long term. You want to know how this all gets fixed, Acerthorn? You want to know how the psychological stress of DMCAing people, then seeing them respond to you, gets fixed? Stop DMCAing people and turn off your fucking computer. And clean your fucking room while you're at it. Or lose some weight. How about that? Because pneumonia is a lung infection. I wouldn't be fucking surprised at all if you were stressed out having the courts realize that you are lying to them, a crime, and thus were made compromised in your immune system by sitting in that fucking room. I mean, look at this fucking room. Are you gonna— not only is this room a fire hazard because of that heater— yes, that's a heater back there— it's also a biohazard. Now, fuck me for having a mother as a surgeon, so maybe I don't know anything about this, do forgive me there. Primarily compromises your immune system. Not only is this stress not the fault of people bitching at you for your DMCA abuse— fuck anyone who is actually harassing you, by the way— but it is not going to cause you needing a fucking surgery due to a lung infection. Shit! Most pneumonias don't even require surgical intervention. And you're now blaming the people criticizing you for your pneumonia surgery? Go fuck yourself, honestly. And I don't mean that as an insult, I mean that as literal advice, because it could help you lose some of that weight, or gain 19 kilos in a day, according to your own Reddit posts. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that.
But even that's not good enough for you. No, for the vast majority of you, you aren't going to be satisfied until I am all the way dead.
What is that fucking voice? No, Acerthorn, I do not wish any ill will on your health. I do not wish you bad health. But this is how far he has convinced himself that everyone who disagrees with him is just a collective. The action of one person who disagrees or doesn't like him is the action of all of people who disagree or don't like him. And he has brought so much shit on himself by starting all these court documents, all these DMCA procedures, these lawsuits, that he has now convinced himself that the group, the collective against him, just wants him dead. You know, I've been making jokes and I've been making insults throughout this whole video, but I legitimately believe that Acerthorn needs help. How do you reach a point where you start all of these things, you expand all of these things, to the point where you legitimately believe that every person is unified against you, thinking the exact same thing, and now you are blaming your lung infection as our fault, because this isn't normal in the slightest. And I know he has Asperger's syndrome, so he's prone to a couple outbursts, hence the turkey noises in his video, but his accidental live stream, sorry. But this is way beyond that. He's already tried to hide the fact that he stabbed his dad, and maybe the dad just didn't pursue criminal charges after, you know, Acerthorn made the complaint, just got him out of the house. But the fact that he is still like this, 10 years on, over 10 years on, and has been like this for as far back as I can trace, 15 years, you know, doxing people, threatening people, suing people, I legitimately believe that he needs some help, and all jokes aside, all jokes dropped, this is something that actually needs to happen. If there is someone who can get him help, then please do. I can't even make jokes about this anymore. The video's almost over. Let's end this.
When it comes to this ongoing litigation, I will not speak publicly on it because, you know, any lawyer worth his salt will tell you that you need to shut up and invoke the Fifth whenever possible, because anything you say can and will be used against you.
You are not a lawyer. You were a freelance paralegal that got hired once, and you even advertised it on your channel with your real name, hence how people found your real name. But are you trying to imply that you have a lawyer? Because you don't. You're representing yourself. I can see it in the court documents. So, what are you referring to here? Any lawyer? Are you saying that you're a lawyer? Are you saying that you have a lawyer? Because neither of those are true.
What I will say, however, is that the judge has, on public record, acknowledged that I have stated a sufficient claim for relief. If I can prove everything in the complaint exactly the way I said it, then yeah, I would be entitled to recovery. The judge has acknowledged that. You know who else has acknowledged that I have a case? Several, multiple lawyers.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm also gonna need a source on this one. First of all, it says in your screenshot that you adequately allege something that you have copyright over the accidental live stream. The judge does not say that you have stated sufficient claim for relief. The judge simply said at the start, which, by the way, no judge reads anything other than the bare surface of it at the start. He simply claimed that you have adequately alleged. But what has the judge said since then? Do you want to know, Acerthorn? Well, you know. I'll let people look it up independently because I need to back it up with a source. Also, you're on food stamps. You are literally on government benefits and food stamps, as your own court records have revealed. How in the fuck are you getting dozens of lawyers to fucking back up these claims? I would like a source for that one. I would like to know, because if you cannot afford an attorney, understandable, by the way, but if you cannot afford an attorney, I would like to know how you can get dozens of lawyers, as you say, to back you up on this one.
But I have had many lawyers during my free initial consultations tell me that yes, you do have a case.
Ah, so you used free initial consultations and then noped out. I see. Now I have a very small question. What did you ask them? Because you asked about this to Leonard French, and this question actually relates greatly to what your argument is in our lawsuit. Can you still claim fair use if your infringement is designed solely to harass and or dox someone else rather than criticize their work? Does this sound familiar in any way by any chance? How much do you want to bet that this is exactly what he asked all those lawyers and this is why he feels so confident, but is also why he feels the need to claim over and over and over again that all we want to do, again with all that the people criticizing him want to do is harass him.
So that's about all I'm gonna say right now on the ongoing litigation. But I just want to say this. If you won't even attempt to reach out to me to even try to get my side of the story, I'm not the one who's I'm not the one who's ducking you at that point. You're the one ducking me.
Oh, fucking finally, it's over. Thank God. What a way to end it as well. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, this was Acerthorn's newest video. Really terrible fucking video in which he explained virtually nothing and just shoved accusations in everybody's faces without backing them up while claiming that he can back them up. And now I have to edit all this. Please help me. Please fucking help me. This guy just gets worse and worse, and there's nothing I can fucking do about it. This guy just gets worse. What? How did I come back to YouTube after having given up on it to restart my passion only to end up with this buffoon? Oh, fuck it. It'll kill me. Anyway. The Elden Ring review and the actual critique of Elden Ring, those two videos are coming up once I'm done with this week and next week of exams. Stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for rating, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.